Hello, Aftershoot, community, YouTube, everywhere. We are live officially. I'm going to let you take over. I'm going to just check and make sure that we're actually live.
Sounds great. Awesome. Aloha, everyone. Namaste. So glad to be here. This one's going to be all of our lives are our biggest lives, but this one's going to be the biggest one for this year at least. I believe we are going to be announcing the official pricing for Aftershoot edits. Some of you might have already received an email that might have hinted at it. I see some posts circling around in our Facebook group about that as well. So some of you got the message a little early than others, but it's happening today. And without any further ado, we'll jump right into it. And before we do, we'd like to preface by saying that the reason we haven't announced pricing up until now, it's been almost 6 months since we launched editing, right, Justin?
Yep.
And it was a very it's a heated debate amongst the team. We had to make sure that we not only provide the editing at a cost that is affordable and accessible by everyone, but we also didn't want to again, as a company, we didn't want to make losses on it. So it was a very fine balance between getting the perfect pricing option out. And I believe we did that. I mean, it's funny because we agreed upon a plan, then we went in and changed that plan 5, 6 times and then came back to the original plan. So it's very funny. We should probably do a short story about a journey around pricing. And I'm happy to announce that while we made Aftershoot's pricing both accessible and ensuring that, okay, we are not taking a loss on that as well, we are still able to retain the unlimited nature of culling and editing. So we will be announcing some plans I believe, in the next few minutes. But no matter the plan you are on, that plan, if that contains culling, it'll have unlimited culling. If that has edits, it will have unlimited editing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have someone who says, just to really pin that question. Funny comment from someone. Someone's asking that, do you guys have any plans on announcing a per image package? I want to severely overpay for my editing. And listen, if you want to severely overpay for something, we're happy to take donations. I mean, I'll send you my PayPal, wire a couple $1,000s over. But yeah, no, kidding aside, all the plans that we launch and announce today will have unlimited options. So we won't have pay-per image, pay-per pixel, pay-per tone curve pricing. That's not going to happen. I believe, and we believe as Aftershoot that, okay, creativity you should not be punished for being creative. Because I mean, we cannot tell you on one hand that, okay, we'll let you shoot and edit as much as you want, but you also have to pay us. It's not fair. So we feel that you should have limitless creativity. Hence, we have limitless culling and editing. It sounds very like a poetic, but that's what it is. I mean, you have seen us for the past 8 months. We've been relentlessly working extremely hard to get edits to be one of the industry standard tools for editing, similar to how Aftershoot culling is one of the industry standard tools for AI culling. And we've been working extremely hard to do that. I'm proud to also announce that we'll have some updates that we will be sharing to sort of answer some burning questions about certain bugs that people have been facing with editing. So again, we'll talk about all those things. That being said, Justin, do you want to say a few words and post that? I'll just maybe share my screen and talk a little bit about the pricing.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, we want to thank everyone for kind of joining along in this journey. I know it's been there's been ups and downs and bugs and things, and for us, when we started this whole process, this was WPPI, 2 years ago at this point, almost coming up on 2 years ago. So it was March of 2021, I think it was. And we just said, I was facing issues. I wasn't happy with the cost and things that were coming within the actual, year and a half with the actual process of AI editing currently, right? Like the marketplace for it and how it operated. And, it wasn't applicable to my business. As a photographer, I felt like this was such a great tool that could really help photographers, but paying per image to me was just absurd for robots, right? So that's, I mean, ours are called unicorns, but you know, for AI to essentially go through my photos for me, it's not cost effective to pay per image. So we really, you know, we tried to take this and put it forth as a real solution that really impacted photographers, that really gave you the power and the tools you needed to be the best photographer you can be. And so for me, it's obviously changed how I do everything. If you're active in our Facebook community, you see that I post random photos of things I would never take photos of, just because I'm not culling, I'm not editing, and it's not costing me to do that, right? I mean, aside from being I still pay for my Aftershoot subscription, right? Because that's how we roll. We want to make sure that I'm a customer, so that I'm on a real business side of things, right? That we know that Aftershoot works the way somebody like myself, a real photographer, would want it to use. So we really do appreciate you guys hanging in there, working with us, giving us feedback, and taking it all from there. So without further ado, I think we can really we can talk about this. I think it's time to share.
Awesome. Let me see if I can share my screen, and I hope my browser doesn't ask me to quit and reopen as it does. I'll choose later. All right. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, Justin, is my screen visible?
Yep,
Can everyone see my screen?
Gonna pop it up. There you go.
All right. So let's start with the max plan. I spoiled everything, but let me start over here. I meant it to be a very Apple-esque. Maybe we start with this, oh, you have this, then this, then this, and this. But anyways, like regardless. Okay, I spoiled it, but okay, here you go. So let's start with the topmost plan. That's called Aftershoot Max. This is the max plan. This is what we believe the most a photographer would want. Someone who is, again, a professional photographer, has been working for a few years, like 6-7 years, has a lot of volume photography. I'd say just like 50-60 weddings a year, more or less.
Honestly, I think, you know, as a photographer, I've reduced my weddings down to about 25, and this is the package that I would be in, right? So you know, it depends. Really, I don't think there's a label for it. You know, as a photographer, if you're somebody who has a couple different styles or ways to shoot. So if you're doing weddings and families, you don't necessarily need a huge bulk of weddings to need just as much for. So again, needing more AI profiles, that's an important one. And that's a big kind of cliff within this Aftershoot Max plan, is the ability to build multiple AI profiles, meaning that you can edit in different styles, you can adapt. You know, for me, it's pretty straightforward. I more or less have the same style across multiple genres, but I do find that I like to have a couple different profiles. I do like a specific profile for the winter time for my winter weddings, just because I edit them a little bit different, just based on my own personal preferences. So, you know, really, if you're doing any sort of bulk photography, doesn't matter if you are, you know, a wedding photographer, a portrait photographer, a family photographer, if you find yourself having you know, the need to build multiple profiles, the need to have all of the features, this is your plan. This is the one where you're getting the whole kit and caboodle. You can launch into this program knowing that you're never limited by anything.
Perfect. And a special note of thanks to our founders. So anyone who purchased into our founder pricing, be it $399, $499, whatever that plan is, you are logged onto the features of the max plan while paying what you paid. So if you got into the founders plan at $399 a year, you are getting the features and benefits of the max plan, which comes out to be around $720 a year. So saving, say, $320 per year on the max plan, or $220 per year on the max plan, depending on which founders round you opted in for. So again, we had some confusion around people asking that, hey, is my plan changing to $720? Is my plan changing to max? It's not. If you are a founder, you get the features of the max plan while paying for a lot less. I believe everyone wants savings.
We want to again thank every founder that jumped on, but you guys got the deal, right? You got the best offering you'll ever get on the max plan. which we're really, really, we're excited to be introducing this max plan, but we're also really excited to celebrate all the founders who were able to dive in at this at that $399, $450, or $499 price, depending on when you got in on the founders. So yeah, you're 100% saving $220 a year just by being a part of it. And there is some cool, I'm going to talk about it because I'm excited. I alluded to it in a post in Facebook community, but we've been working on a special profile for our founders. So as a founder of Aftershoot, we're going to go ahead and give all of you my profile. We're still tweaking it. So, but I did want to like rip that Band-Aid off and let you all know that that founders are going to have some exclusive things such as my AI profile as well.
Yeah, and you'll get my profile as well, which launches on 1st of April. I'm just kidding. But no, so you get Justin's beautiful, marvelous profile, and anything else that comes onto the max plan, you'll be automatically getting it. So you are saved and secured for life, as we say. Right? Okay. Post that, we have the Aftershoot Pro plan, which again is similar to Aftershoot Max, but it's limited in terms of how many AI profiles you can create. So you're able to only make one AI profile onto this plan and only get one seat. You can add on more AI profiles. It'll cost something, and we'll be announcing all that bundle pricing and everything else in an email as well. And you'll have this information in the app as well. But again, just for your knowledge, every additional AI profile on this plan will cost. And if you want to add multiple seats, that would have an added cost as well. So while this gives you introductory taste of what AI editing with your own personal style is, it's a little limited in terms of how many AI profiles you can create. But if you are someone who's extremely consistent with the way that you shoot and the way you edit, one profile would be more than enough for you to understand, okay, is Aftershoot worth it for me or not? And then based on your needs, you can decide to add 1 or 2 or 3 more AI profiles, or just upgrade to the max plan, depending on what you see fit. Justin, any comments on this plan in particular?
Yeah, this package is a particularly useful one. So if you're kind of in the middle point of your photography career, you maybe have a pretty decent amount of sessions. Your style is pretty established. This is a great place to kind of get yourself locked in at a nice medium package, right? So this is going to get you in, having you using your own AI profile. If you're not quite ready to experiment with other profiles and things just yet, this is a great place to really kind of start out. I would say for myself, I could probably get away with this one, this package as well, just because I could live with one AI profile if I had to. But again, just being able to jump up and get to that next level. But just some important notes on this, you can kind of bounce around from package to package as well. Right. So if you were like, hey, I want to start, just get into the Aftershoot Pro, I want to experiment with it, learn how it works, etc., you can dive in on this. And then as you grow as a business, you can absolutely upgrade to the max later. Right. So you can say, hey, I want to go up and get further along as my business kind of flourishes, if I need other AI profiles that are customized, that sort of thing. So absolutely, there's room to grow within these packages. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and we will prorate the amount for you. So in case you paid for the Pro plan today for the entire year, and the next month you want to upgrade to the Max plan, we won't charge you the full amount again. We'll just have the difference charged, and the amount will be prorated for you. So you don't need to worry about that.
I want to say something. I'm going way off script, but and you're probably going to hate me for saying it, but one of the things that I am extremely proud of with Aftershoot and what we're able to do is how we work with you guys, the users. And this is something that it's come up in the past from other companies who kind of lock people into contracts and don't let them break contracts and get out and change things. And, there's no way for them to downgrade a plan if they don't need it, or cancel if it's not working, or all of these sort of things. There's a couple people I really have in mind that actually bought the founders deal. They were unable to break a contract elsewhere with other companies. that were for a year. So we agreed to like kind of work with them and maybe set their account up so that it launches when their other account finishes. They just wanted to lock in the price because they knew they would be coming to us. So, you know, we have this 24-hour in-app support that really does care. As a company, we really do care and value our users. So we're always available and ready to work with you guys and help you and figure out, if it's not working, what we can do better to make it work for you. We take that like to heart to the fullest extent, but also with these packages, right? There's flexibility within a package if you need to upgrade or downgrade or whatever it may be. So, you know, do know we're on your side. We're on your team. We're not going to hold your money hostage for things and that sort of stuff, because we really do believe that we are a great solution. And if we need to tweak some things to make it a little bit better for your specific needs, we're happy to look into it.
Absolutely. And again, this plan gets you this and the max plan gets you obviously the culling, the editing, cropping, straightening, masking. It's not mentioned here, but masking is coming out very, very, very soon. So we'll have that, and anything that we create, which is again fundamental to a pro's workflow, it'll have this. Okay. And then coming down to our accessible plans. First off, Aftershoot Selects, we're calling it Aftershoot Selects. We're just rebranding a little because I got to know that culling in certain languages means something extremely different. So like, okay, we have Aftershoot Edits because it edits for you, and then Aftershoot Selects because it selects for you. So I think that was the apt name for the culling only plan. So that plan doesn't change. It remains as it's at its current pricing. We have a lot of new features dropping for the Select plan, which we will talk about very soon. So that remains as it is at the same price while adding new features. And then you have Aftershoot Edits. So this is the basic editing plan, which costs $15 a month billed annually. It has all the things that you see in Pro, but you cannot make your own AI profile on this plan. You're only limited to the profiles that are available in the Aftershoot marketplace. And you see 9 profiles over there, and all of them they're available for you to use and download. But moving forward, we will add some sort of restrictions on which profiles are available, which are paid. We plan on having some creator-based profiles in our marketplace as well very soon. Some people you might already know of. They are working with us to get their profiles primed up for usage. But once, if you subscribe to the $15 per month plan, you will be limited in terms of what all things you can do. So again, you'll still have unlimited editing, but it'll only be limited to the marketplace profiles. You won't have cropping, straightening. That's an additional bundle you have to purchase. And you cannot create a custom AI profile on this plan. You will have to upgrade to the Pro plan to create an AI profile. And if you think that, okay, I'm happy with this and I want this as well, you can always bundle these two together and pay 20% less. So you get both Aftershoot Selects and Aftershoot Edits Basic for $240 a year. So we believe this would be ideal for people who don't have an editing style yet and just want to reduce their workload, who have been using, say, a preset or something similar to find a style. They can absolutely use this plan, use either our pre-built profiles or purchase one of the profiles available on our marketplace and just use that instead for all their editing and culling needs. So awesome. Yeah, that's essentially what the basic plan is.
Yeah, I actually have a comment here. I think it's a little too long to put on screen, but the AI presets with the $15 edit plan, that is correct. You had we're actually going to be limiting the amount that you can use, essentially, right? So if you're choosing the AI profiles, you may get 2. So you can't go bounce around to 30 different styles because they're available. But you can purchase the additional styles, which is also something that I really wanted to just talk about, while we're here. Again, kind of launching onto that, how much we care about this industry and what we really believe that we can do as a company and work towards the future of photography. And that is our marketplace, right? So you've seen our marketplace. We've got some pre-built profiles in there that we've created. And we're really excited to be bringing on some amazing creators and talents who are going to be building these profiles that are going to be available to purchase. So we have some really amazing photographers that we've partnered with, some amazing companies that we partnered with, and they're going to be slowly rolling out over the next few months with these AI profiles. and they're going to be selling these AI profiles on our marketplace, and they're going to make money on this, right? This is 100% pass through. We're here to celebrate these creators and what they're doing and encourage them and uplift this industry. And that's something that, again, as a company, we're extremely proud of, because we're not looking at predatory pricing and all of these sort of things and, trying to take advantage of preset creators and whatever it is. We really want to make this a space where professional photographers get to help shape the industry the way they believe it. So when these profiles do roll out, and we'll obviously have a live all on that, but I wanted to just preface it by saying, we're here supporting them. When you purchase a profile of one of these photographers, they're earning on that money, and they're earning all of that money. So they're getting a real benefit from you purchasing them. So, just something that I wanted to celebrate, because I am super proud of that initiative. Something that we're doing really different than anyone else in the industry right now.
Absolutely. We won't be taking any cut from these creators. They get all the money that you use to purchase these their presets or profiles onto a marketplace. I think that's the first in the industry, Justin. I believe apart from Adobe, no other company has that. Wherein if you have even Apple, I mean, if you have an app on the Apple App Store, they'll charge you like 30% of whatever you make. And they're criticized a lot by Spotify and others, wherein they're saying, you are charging us 30%, and you offer Apple Music at a subsidized price. So how's that fair? So again, that is something that we are doing different, because we know you look up to a lot of creators, a lot of educators, and you want to support them, obviously, because we see that in these groups. So this is another avenue for you to not only support them, but also help them create something that benefits the industry. So if you are getting an AI profile created by your favorite creator, you can rest assured that they get all the money that you pay. We do not make a single dime on it, apart from the processing fees, obviously. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but we don't make any money on top of that.
But exactly. The idea is that this is our opportunity. Like, so me as a photographer, I look at Aftershoot. This is the opportunity for us to really help shape the industry moving ahead, right? AI is the next big thing. And, as a company, we have a lot of moral values and a lot of care and things that, you won't find at a lot of other companies. That's why we have the in-app support. That's why we're always active in talking to you guys and working with you. So that's one of these things that we really, we truly believe in at Aftershoot. And we want to make sure that we're taking this opportunity to really give the photography industry everything we can to make it the place that we all want it to be, right? If AI shapes the next step of the world, we want to make sure that photographers are protected. They're earning the way they used to. People aren't sharing presets and going to build an instant profile on it and sharing it with their friends and, doing all these sort of things that are going to ultimately damage the creators, right? I mean, if you're a preset maker or creator, you stand to lose a lot of money when AI gets better and there's all these advancements where presets can be shared and profiles can be shared and all of these sort of things. It really ultimately will hurt a lot of these photographers. And our main goal is to try and preserve that as a company, help really keep them at the forefront of the industry. So, and again, that's why we're taking this AI and making it something that's accessible, that's a flat rate, because we're not here to rip everybody off. We're here to really help photographers grow in this industry. So we're really excited about all these initiatives. And Nora had a question that I'll answer really quick. So if you're looking at the Aftershoot Max plan here, if you are a founder, that is essentially the equivalent, right? So you're looking at, you got the $720 annual plan, reduced down to your $399, $450, $499, whichever stage you signed up at. So you've got a fantastic discount on that by joining the founders. So we are super excited about that. And yeah, we're going to answer.
I want to talk about one more thing that the team worked last minute to add to this page, which is this. So this is essentially what our developer team made. He said, okay, this is a pricing calculator for anyone who is a photographer. And I'll obviously post this live. We'll share this link in our Facebook group and you can play around with this. And this asks, okay, how many photos do you edit per year? Let's say, Justin, how many photos do you think you'll edit per year?
So I've edited let's just do this year so far. I have delivered, 9,000 photos so far this year, just right about 9,000.
All right. let me see if I can get to 9,000. So for 9,000, Justin, if you have delivered 9,000 images, okay, I'll just keep it in that.
Yeah.
So if we talk about cost for editing photos, that is, hey, paper image, all the companies that are here in the industry who do AI editing, they are paper image. So the editing alone is going to be $457. So cost for cropping, straightening is going to be another $183 on top of it. If we include masking, that's going to be another $90 on top of this. And cost for culling is going to be, say, $10 a month, so $120. So net with other companies, you might have to pay at least $760 a year. And if you add masking to it, it comes out to be $850 for the entire year. With Aftershoot, with the Pro plan, because the Pro plan gets you all these things, it just doesn't get you multiple AI profiles. So you can use Aftershoot and only have to pay $480, which is at least $330 in savings if you include masking, which is coming soon. And let's say if you had some extra shoots that you wanted to do because of the extra free time you have just earned using AI, that equation doesn't change for Aftershoot. Wherein for other companies, this equation will severely change. If you added a second shooter, it suddenly, the cost starts to go up because you are not only paying the second shooter, you're also paying to process their images through the platform. So eventually this essentially becomes a tax for you. So of all the money you make from a shoot, you have to pay a AI tax. And Aftershoot has no AI tax. It's like the Bahamas, the tax is in there.
It's tax. Yeah. And
that's tax haven. So
and that's a really amazing point. I think a lot of us probably don't realize what we put in. So if you were to go look at, say, your Aftershoot, actually we can do this right now. So I can go look at how many images I've culled. And so it's 152,000 selected photos out of 517,000, right? So that I don't even think our slider goes up that high. But just thinking about what that would look like for 152,000 photos to be edited is just astronomical. What it actually means. Now, of course, that's not my actual. I like cull things multiple times and experiment on all the branches and stuff. But really, like, it's tough to conceptualize as photographers, like how many images you're actually going to edit in a year. But if you really sat down and broke it down and said, okay, I've got 10 weddings and I am delivering 1,000 photos per wedding, you're at 10,000 photos, right? So you're already there. It's a much smaller, or for instance, like my family sessions are about 100 photos per session. And I'll do about, 20. So we're another 2,000 photos right off the bat. So I'd be at 12,000, right? So it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. And that's one of the cool things, is that you're not paying a tax or being punished for a busy year.
Oh, did we lose Justin? I hope I'm there. Just drop a message over here in the chat if you can still hear me. I believe there's a connection issue on Justin's end. Yeah, let me quickly just check and see if it's me. Oh, okay, I'm still here. Awesome. Justin, please come back. Anyways, regardless, as Justin was saying that, okay, you don't have to pay a tax. You can shoot as poor Justin, indeed. Yes, shoot as much as you want, edit as much as you want. And we have seen a workflow shift in photographers wherein, okay, they will now edit everything and then start to cull. And that's something that you would never ever do. And we know that, hey, there's certain shoots that we just skip through while culling because they just don't look good in tools like Photo Mechanic or Lightroom or even Aftershoot. But if you are able to edit everything and bring out the best in every photo and then look at the culling, you get a different perspective about the images. Those images tell a different story to you altogether. So yeah, why do people are saying come back to us, Justin? Don't people like me? I'm just kidding. All right. So yeah, that's essentially what it is. We are enabling you to just choose your own workflow. It's like choose your adventure. What do you want to do? Do you want to cull first, then edit? Do you want to edit first, then cull, without even worrying about the cost you have to incur per image? So that's the biggest thing that we provide. I have another comment over here. I'll just address all these comments. So Sandy Smith is asking, can we downgrade packages too? We are shooting less next year. So yes, you can. Everyone can downgrade plans, but the benefit with our Pro and Max plan is you can also pause them for 3 months a year. Again, that is still something we're working on, so don't hold me accountable on the number of months. It's going to be either 2 or 3 months a year, wherein you don't have a busy season, you can just pause it. So eventually, your annual plan becomes a 14 or 15-month plan as opposed to a 12-month plan. So if you do the math, it comes out to be less than $30 a month if you are on the Pro plan, and less than $50 a month if you are on the Max plan. So yes, you can downgrade, and yes, you can also pause. And again, as you mentioned, all these features and pricing announcements, you might be asking that, okay, when does this go live? So this goes live over the weekend, and next Monday, when you download Aftershoot from the website, it will have this new pricing. Our website will have the new pricing, and everything would be revamped and overhauled. People are existing users who are still using edits for free, who have made a profile for free, who have not subscribed to a plan. We'll get in touch with you. We'll communicate to you and help you find the best plan for you. And there'll be a grace period of a few weeks wherein we'll help you upgrade to a plan that fits your needs the best. And then post that, those plans and those app versions will be discontinued. That app version won't work anymore, and you will have to download a newer version of the app. When it comes to the founders deal, today is officially the last day of the founders deal. If you want to get the max plan at a $499 per year plan, which is an annual discount of $220, I believe now is the time to get the founders deal. Every one of you should have received an email about a link to purchase the founders deal. If you do not have it, you can always get in touch with our in-app support, and they'll help you out with how to get you onto the founders deal. All right, look who's back.
I think the tree may have fallen. I heard something, and then the Wi-Fi and power went out, and now it's back on.
All right, people said that come back to us, Justin. Apparently, they don't like me a lot, so they're like, okay, I mean, where's Justin? There's a retaliation for you, Justin. People wouldn't even listen to me.
I'm back. I'm so sorry. we've had basically. I'm in Connecticut, so we've had storms like the entire week. Trees are falling everywhere. It's been awesome. Been really fantastic.
All right. So I was just to give you context, I was just telling people about the ability to pause the plans for 2 to 3 months a year, and I was also telling people about today being the last day for the founders deal. So if they want to save $220 a year forever on the editing costs, they can purchase the founders deal today and not miss out on it.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let's take some questions, Justin. Let's take some questions, and then we'll move on to what's coming next in terms of Aftershoot for updates.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm super excited. So we'll answer questions. My feed actually disappeared because of that, so I only have back to Batman and Robin are back together. So if you want to post up some questions, you just hover on it and you can say show. It should allow you to.
Okay. Someone mentioned that okay, offering 10 plus AI profiles with the $15 plan will push a lot of people away from the Max or the Pro plan. And you're right. The option to use all the profiles available in Marketplace is only there for up until this Monday. And I mentioned this as well, Justin, that this pricing will officially go live over the weekend. And anyone who downloads the app from the website starting next Monday, they will be prompted to subscribe to a plan. Obviously, there would be a 30-day free trial of the Pro plan. If you come into our system, we want to let you explore everything that we can do. So you'll get a 30-day trial of the Pro plan. And after that trial is expired, we'll help you. We'll just tell you that, okay, you have to subscribe to a plan to continue. And that's happening starting Monday. And for people who've already been using the older version of the app, it will be discontinued in the coming weeks. So we'll get in touch with you and we'll help you find the best plan that works for you. And as we do, we'll help you upgrade to a plan, and we'll just then discontinue the old plan. And as the old plan discontinues, so does the ability to use all the profiles available in the marketplace. Certain profiles available in there would go behind a paywall. And as we add new creator profiles onto a marketplace, they would be behind a paywall as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, again, it's a this is like that last minute chance. Now you can get in at $4.99 still. We wanted to make sure we had a little overlap, so you can get the founders deal, but it's going away as soon as possible. So definitely make sure that if you analyze the ability, like the different packages, right? Because some of you may not be ready to do a founders plan, but if you can swing it, dive in, because if you can afford it, it's something that as your business grows, you may want to be in on, and knowing that you've just established it. I mean, for me, my engagement sessions, they're $599. So being able to have an engagement session basically cover all my culling and editing costs for a whole year is absolutely insane. So for me, it's like, hey, if I can just book one engagement session, I paid for the whole thing, which is really, really cool. To be able to just know in advance what your editing bill is going to be for the year. For me, it was always like stressful waiting for an invoice to come in after a month from, a private editor or other AI companies, that sort of stuff. So, and then I'd get hit with like a $600 charge because I was busy in October, right? And then I'd say, oh, that $600 charge for that 1 month hurt me a lot. So again, just knowing that, hey, every year, this day that I signed up for the founders deal, in 1 year, I'm going to, again, just pay that same price. It's easy to kind of budget and know what everything's all about. So again, super helpful, super useful to have. There was a question that I lost that I wanted to come back to. And it was, can we downgrade the packages? I wanted to make sure that you got that covered.
I answered that.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So again,
I'm not all useless. Come on, dude. Just because I don't have a mustache. How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, really what's cool about these packages is that, again, you can upgrade, downgrade, as you get into the higher packages. You can pause for 3 months. I mean, I know for me, I try not to shoot in January, February. So for those 2 months, I can always just pause it, which gives me the ability to, again, preserve those AI profiles. For those of you who created the AI profiles, I'm sure you probably covered it, but there will be an option to kind of store them if they're not, shooting and they want to go monthly. I would not recommend the monthly because that is pretty expensive. So again, just having these kind of big.
Yeah, it's only good for people who like just want it like for 3 months or 4 months a year. I mean, obviously, how many of you have Adobe on a monthly subscription? I mean, everyone purchases it for the entire year. So, yeah.
I'm not skipping questions. I'm going to get to everybody here. But I did want to see this one. How do we connect with in-app support to get the link to the founders deal? I've been wanting to purchase, but I haven't gotten any emails. So when you open Aftershoot, you will find in the upper right-hand corner a nice little support tab there. You can always message them in there. And also, you may not be on the latest version. So, definitely we haven't officially pushed out all the latest versions to everyone, just because we wanted to make sure that we stabilized a couple things for specific use cases. So definitely, if you're feeling like you may be an update or two behind, the last official update, Harshit, was 3 weeks ago, right? I think that was our last. So if you haven't updated in 3 weeks, you can head to aftershoot.com/downloads and you can get the latest version. And it should, in theory, prompt you to purchase the founders deal automatically when you open it.
I believe, Justin, we should also make a post in our Facebook group, just like letting people who haven't had the idea that, hey, the founders deal exists. So.
Absolutely. So we can definitely do that. But yeah, support is there. I will preemptively say, hey, if support's taken a little bit of extra time today, please be patient. Yesterday we had an email go out to like a portion of users, and I think me, Harshit, and Renato were on constantly for a couple hours, and then Harshit went to bed, and it was me, Renato, and Abram all night. So, and I will shout out Adrian, everybody on the support team. Thank you for being amazing, and it is a crazy, wild time. Ben Appleton asks a great question. With masking, is the plan to have the same level of masking as Lightroom, e.g. teeth, iris, etc.? And so we're not totally, we can't totally talk about these things publicly because, there's people watching. So we don't want to totally ruin everything, but we're working on a lot of really cool things within masking and try to make it a feature that is really useful. So like for me personally, I only use the sky. I'm not a big like person masker. So we're just, again, kind of working on getting some of those details hashed out for the launch. But we can't talk too much about it. We're industry leaders, man. Everyone's looking. Everyone wants to know what's next. Which actually, can we tell them about the thing that's coming? Because I think we alluded to it on the founders page, right? The old October.
What's the thing?
The October update.
Yeah, it's your call, man.
Okay, so we have 2 major updates coming, so you just got to hang out for them. But one of the major updates is really exciting because you'll be able to, it's going to change a lot of things in how your flow works. And it means that you can like click on a button and AI will just do all your life for you. That's all I'm going to say. How about that? We'll leave it at that. You can import these files to a multitude of platforms. Life is going to be super awesome. That's all I want to give you on it. But
no more back and forth as well. We've heard that, okay, there's a lot of back and forth. There has to be a bridge that enables a seamless workflow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. If you've been on the fence because you're not sure how this fits into your workflow, we are listening. We hear every piece of feedback and take it into consideration. So if you're saying, hey, I don't love like going to Lightroom and back and forth and X, Y, and Z, we've got some things in the works for you. So just, if you're on the fence, just go for it, right? If you're like, hey, I don't know if the founders deal is quite there yet for me, or I'm not sure, we're always improving and adding things. You can't come back to the founders deal. Once it's gone, it's gone. Then
actually, Justin, it's okay. If someone's on the fence, it's okay because we'll make more money, man. That's okay.
Yeah, listen. If you're on the fence about the founders deal, skip it. Yeah, it's fine. You'll upgrade later. We'll get all those things hashed out. Yeah. So
awesome. We have a couple of more questions.
Yeah, we're gonna keep sliding down through these questions. Yes, we are very efficient. We're always updating, right? So you don't see it, but we're a pretty big team. We're 47 people now. Something like
more or less.
We're a pretty large team here, and the majority of them are amazing developers who are always working and pushing and taking your problems, your issues, and pushing it to the next level. So definitely 100%. We're working on everything you're asking for. The exchange rate for some countries makes the founders deal expensive. A monthly option on the founders deal would have been great. That is a great suggestion. The main reason that we didn't do a monthly on the founders deal is just because there is part of the founders deal, and what we're doing with the founders deal is essentially locking in like a set rate that you would just you're in for. So when you go monthly, it's easier to like stop it and cancel it and change those sort of things. So kind of just the founders deal, the idea behind it was to like know, okay, this is really going to work and this is how it's going to work, and we can pre-plan all of our budgetary needs. Again, trying not to be the company that says, hey, we're going to get all your money and it sucks to be you. We really took the time to look at the costs and how much everything takes to operate and how we need to continue to grow and keep all of this operating, and took all of that into consideration and said, okay, if we can meet this number, then this plan works, and then everything else turns into benefit later. So that's why. So again, just, the monthly cost was difficult, but that's to say we do plan on having some country specific pricing launching eventually. It's something that's in the works. We've heard it before. We've tried really hard to make it happen. So it is something that will be available in the future.
However, Justin, I'll add one more thing. Even when the country specific pricing launches, it won't get less than what the founders deal is right now. So I mean, just an FYI. About the max plan. Priority support. We'll fly down to your place in a chartered plane, and me and Justin will solve your problem for you personally. So that's the priority support. That's the DEFCON 5 support. Whatever that is.
So we're huge on just being supportive with in-app support. If you've had issues with a profile or anything in the past, we've implemented some new people as well that are going to be able to really help speed up profile issues and that sort of things. Oftentimes we find that people who struggle with an AI profile, there's some outliers in their data set or something weird going on in their particular edits. So we sit down and go through that data. So we actually added a whole team to work with that. And Harshit?
Yeah, I think this probably alludes to an onboarding team that we're working on, which will work with you to help onboard you and help set your AI profile up for you so that you are essentially ensure that, okay, whatever I make, it'll be perfect because the team is working with me. They are essentially helping me curate the data and everything else. So yeah, I believe it's worded incorrectly. It's not priority support. It's just like we'll have a priority onboarding for you and we'll take care of you through the first part of the journey of making the AI profile.
Yep, absolutely. Founder's deal is a freaking steal. Yeah, if you've come from anywhere, I actually had some really terrible human editors back in 2018 that I paid $300 a month to, right? And the AI is like worlds ahead of them. And we've done some real life testing with. We have a YouTube video coming that from one of our amazing ambassadors that actually compares his human editors to the AI editors, and like the fact that we're on the same page as a human is absolutely amazing. So again, just making photography accessible, easier to afford. I tried outsourcing a couple times and I found myself having to deal with it still. Like I was like, oh, I've got to go through now. They culled for me, but they still didn't pick exactly what I wanted. So a human couldn't match me, or they edited, but they totally messed up this, whether it was the high end editors or the low end ones. I always found I was needed to do more work than I wanted to. And so this is an amazing way to kind of bridge that gap and make outsourcing an affordable way where you're still involved, right? I mean, this isn't going to totally replace you as a photographer. It's just something that, for me, I tell everybody, I'm very vocal about it. I was going from 15 to 20 hours of work per wedding down to about 3, right? I can sit down and get this done in an afternoon, from culling to editing straight through. I spend about 45 minutes reviewing my cull. It'll get me, let's say Aftershoot gets me to 1,500 images. I'll take it down to 1,200 or 1,100 over the course of 45 minutes while casually watching TV. And then I will run the edits through, and I'll be going through and reviewing, and I'm about 2 hours to edit. But that includes Photoshop for me, right? I'm going in and swapping heads and merging some images and getting rid of light stands and all that sort of stuff. So all in, my whole workflow has been reduced so much, and it's really a huge benefit. So if you haven't tried it, I'm hoping that you all have had the opportunity to, but if you haven't, know that going in, you probably are going to be involved still, but you can absolutely expedite how it all works for you. And it doesn't cost $200 per wedding. And then we're going to pop down here. Does it make a difference if you are currently paying currently a paying culling member? I've just been using the free version. So you can use that free culling version. You would be in that specific plot of the edits only, that $15 a month plan, to have the pre-built profiles. If you are looking to upgrade to include to one of the custom AI profile sections, you would be in that next tier up. We haven't launched a specific non-AI culling package for that. So yeah, if you would like to maintain those AI profiles, you will have to jump up to one of those larger plans. Great question. And then it does everything except fold my laundry. Yeah, we don't have AI to fold laundry. I also don't fold the laundry still, but I do enjoy my life a lot more. Scrolling on down. This is a great question. I skipped one, but we'll dive in here. Is there any way we can see rejected images? So, we've had a lot of new Facebook members join over the past few months, and we haven't really done a sit down and go through Aftershoot just for fun sort of live. So maybe we're overdue for one. I think that would be a great way to kind of cover that question. Yep. But to answer it in the short term, in the interim, yes, absolutely. Aftershoot technically never rejects an image, right? It's not something, the images don't get thrown away or non-labeled. They're all classified. So essentially within your selected images, the first select images is the one that Aftershoot chose. And subsequently everything that belongs with that duplicate set will be behind it in the duplicate set. So you can see by using the period and comma keys to cycle through all the additional images, the ones that were not selected by the AI. And then the only place that you'll find other images are your closed eyes and your blurred category. So those two sets of images are what we call like one-off or singular photos, right? So it's one photo that's been deemed out of focus. It didn't belong to a duplicate set. So all of your photos will be present in all of those spaces. And if you look at the top bar within the Aftershoot culling, you can actually see, you can filter by images. So you can choose if you only want to see your selected, your closed eyes, and your blur, and none of the duplicates. You can lay that all out in that format by simply clicking on the corresponding colors. So yeah, you can absolutely choose to see all of those things if you'd like to. But yeah, we don't straight up reject anything. There's nothing that's been like totally left without a star or color within Aftershoot. If you want to view the images that you rejected from there, you would simply just click to show the ones without colors in that top bar filter. But yeah, that's a great one. Maybe we'll make a tutorial video on that too. But yeah, I'll go ahead and dive in that. Is the founder's deal renewed at the same price annually once locked in? Yeah, that's the best part about it. So diving into the founder's deal means that your $4.99 is your price. It doesn't change. It's not subject to increases. It is on there at that cost. Every year it's going to renew at $4.99. So you've locked in. You've got it there. So yeah, absolutely. And scrolling down and looking. Let's dive down here. We got another one here. So as founder of $4.99, what I use now is one AI profile. I'm paying a little more. No matter, I'll be happy using it as a fair price. And I did get something special than the rest. Yeah. So Harshit, you want to answer this one?
Absolutely. So I think one thing that we missed out on is because, again, we're working on the specifics of that plan. So we will probably have a profile pack with an Aftershoot as well. That would be a separate, smaller subscription bundle, which will get you access to a couple of our pre-built profiles and a couple of creators' pre-built profiles for free if you're subscribed to that plan. And again, if any of you are familiar with all the gamers, if you're familiar with the Xbox plan or the PS5 Plus plan, wherein you just pay Microsoft or Sony $4 a month, and you get access to a couple of games for free. You don't have to purchase those games to play it, as long as you subscribe to that pack. We'll have a similar pack for our pre-built profiles as well, and the founders or people on the Max plan will get that as well for free. They won't have to pay for it. So that's another benefit that you get as a founder or a Max plan subscriber, which others won't get. They'll have to pay for it. Awesome. Yeah. Do we have other questions, Justin?
I want to show this one because this is exciting. I would love a more convenient main display screen with a list of projects, archive, etc. So, we're working on some things. So just hang in there. That some cool stuff is coming. Again, I'm really, really excited about all the things we're going to do. Somebody said a question that we're actually going to just answer. Somebody replied back, but we'll answer it as well. I would love the possibility to optimize the AI profile based on the corrections I made in a specific catalog. So there's a couple ways to do this. So you can either retrain that profile, right? So if you can click the improve profile button or upload those images as well. The other ways you can do this, if you're on the founders plan, you get 5 profiles. So you can actually ask us to duplicate a profile for you. We can actually the support team will go in, they can duplicate that profile, and then you can make it, kind of take it and fork it, so to speak. So you can keep your existing profile. Since you get 5 of them, then you can add that other profile and start shifting it another direction. And then, of course, the most simple way, it takes a little bit of tinkering the first few times you use it, but the most simple way to kind of just do an AI profile change or correction is using the profile corrections feature. And this is something that I actually use quite a bit because I only ever shot weddings for the past, 7-8 years. I found myself not having a flexible enough profile to do other things, right? Like I love to take pictures of everything now because I don't have to pay for it, right? So I'm going in and taking pictures. I took some pictures of frogs the other day. I'm just whatever I want. If I'm feeling inspired, I grab my camera, I take some photos of some stuff. And what I found myself doing is for each of those, I like to play with like texture and clarity and saturation a lot, which is something I never do in my actual business work. So I go in and I actually use these profile corrections on my existing wedding profile. So it understands how I expose, how I white balance, all of those sort of things. But then it applies this other look to it by using those profile corrections. So I can really kind of ramp up the texture and clarity and give it more of a grungy look. Or I may do it some where I actually take the desaturation down or the saturation on the HSL sliders. I actually start dragging those down and change those a little bit to kind of reduce maybe the greens and that sort of stuff. But I'm doing it all through the AI profile corrections so that I have that, my main profile is not touched and I'm just kind of adapting and adjusting to it. So something to play with if you've got a little bit of time, if you want to experiment a little bit. It's really a blast. The best way I found to utilize it is actually like I take highlights, I'd make a catalog, I make a collection of virtual copies of like the highlights of a wedding, let's say, and I'll go in and I'll just run it on, say, 50 images from all different parts of the wedding day and see how those changes really affect the AI, and then really dial in those adjustments. So $1 million question. When will edits be official release? So that's what this is all about, right? We're talking about all of this. One thing we didn't talk about, which we probably need to, is this update, right? So there's an update coming. And this was one of the big pains in our process that we wanted to get fixed before we went official with edits. And that is the camera profile issues. So some of you may have been getting these weird error messages like, hey, this is a Canon EOS R and we can't edit these photos, that sort of thing, or you can't improve a profile, etc. So this update is actually going to solve for that. So it's got some solutions built in. You will still face some of those similar issues, right? So if you don't have the right amount of photos for a Nikon Z6 to build a profile, it's not going to let you automatically build a profile. But what it will do is help alleviate some of these processes and automate some of these things to make it a simpler, easier process to use. For those of you who have those unlucky cameras, it's the Nikon Z6, it's the Canon EOS R, it's the Fuji X-T3, the Nikon Z7. So there's just a handful of cameras. At one point in time, there were a specific camera profile existed, right? So in Adobe, you would use Adobe Standard, let's say. That's a camera process version. So it interprets certain pieces of raw data differently than it would an Adobe Raw Standard Process version 2. And so for those handful of cameras, they got a specific version process, which means that the white balance, all of the things are not the same as they would be with another camera. And you may, not notice this if you were using just presets because the process version is already adapted. But when it comes to the AI profiles, your usual tendencies from Adobe version 1 will be different than your tendencies from Adobe version 2. Because Adobe version 1, let's say your pink tint slider would be at +9. But on Adobe version 2, it actually equates to like some kind of random algorithm that puts it at like, version 90 or something. So +90. So that's just something that we would definitely want to make sure that we had solved so that you weren't facing these issues, that everyone had optimal use for this. And we got a comment here. We're going to dive in. So how can I fix this? I'm not happy with, they end up less contrasty. So there's a couple ways to do this. One thing you can do again is those profile corrections. So if there's two versions of it, there's a static value or the AI profile correction. So you can literally just say, hey, I want this contrast. I want the AI to run how it did, but I want it to increase the contrast slider by, say, +10, right? So what it'll do is it'll run the AI the way it normally would, and then it'll add more contrast to those numbers that the AI did. And you can do that for multiple sliders. So if you want to adjust the contrast, not only the contrast slider, but the highlights and the shadows, if you want to bring them up or down as well, respective to what the profile is doing, you can do that with your profile corrections. Oftentimes what happens here is that we shift as photographers in general without really knowing it. This is something that I discovered about myself. I thought I was super consistent, and I went back and pulled some files from 2 years ago, and my contrast shadows are way different than they are now. And it's just something I'd never noticed. I just slowly started tweaking them more and more. So my contrast used to be plus 20. Now it's usually around like plus 40. But it's not something that I noticed. It's just something that I started slowly doing. My eye, I guess, maybe changed a little bit. So just something to do there. You can, again, try upload more photos to it, upload those more contrasty ones, or you can try and use that profile correction just to start you off in a better place and then continue uploading to retrain that profile based on that. Okay. Yep. The mustache man, the frog, next at Disney movie. I'm in. Tell me where to sign. So this is just, again, the option to improve with the AI correction to tweak your profile. It makes it better and better. Again, this is an awesome solution if you're finding that your profile is just not hitting the mark on the shadows, or it's doing something wrong with the greens, or whatever it may be. Oftentimes, as I mentioned before, it's something that either we've changed as photographers as we've gone through the process, or we may have just discovered that we uploaded one catalog that was super off. I'm going to throw Esteban Gil under the bus. His original AI profile that he created, it was all over the place with contrast, right? He would have like perfect image and then like minus 50 for the contrast. When we actually sat down and looked at the data he uploaded, there was one wedding where he used a different preset altogether, and the contrast was like minus 50 the whole time. So that's why the AI just didn't understand when should it use minus 50 and when should it use plus 50. So again, just something that you can kind of override using these AI profile corrections. But if you are facing those extreme issues, right, if you do say, hey, it's like totally missing the mark here, it's going way off the deep end on something, or it's like bouncing around inconsistently, do reach out to in-app support. We'll get you on with that team. We'll figure out, we'll look at your data. We'll see if there's something in there that's an outlier, maybe some photos that snuck in that had a different preset or a different style on them that confused the AI. So, and we're going to pop to this question. I'm using the founder's plan of $499, and I can see I already paid more since I'm using, for the moment, Aftershoot Pro. I don't see that I got the benefit of being a founder. That's a great comment. We spent a long time bouncing back and forth and up and down and figuring out what kind of the very happy middle ground for this is. So we definitely just wanted to kind of poke this out and show it, because Harshit answered this already, but again, I wanted to just dive in and say, there's a lot of benefits to being a founder. It's those preset packs, it's the exclusive AI profiles, and again, it's a $220 discount that's locked in for life. Nobody else is going to be able to get that, right? So everyone else moving forward from tomorrow is going to be paying $720 for the same thing, and they can't go down to a $499 package ever. So again, just something to note. And we're going to pop down here. If we don't sign up for the founders deal, do we lose our custom profiles? An email? Yes. To safeguard your profiles. Yes. So that email was to kind of just give everyone a heads up that we're starting to move towards this paid plan. So your AI profiles, if you are not a founder and you have more than one AI profile, your profiles are subject to be deleted after this time period, right? Once after that 30 days.
Justin, yeah, I'll add a comment. So you don't need to be a founder specifically. You just need to be on one of the paid plans that offer an AI profile. And that is either the pro plan or the max plan or the founders plan. So it's one of these three plans. So again, you don't need to subscribe to founders. Let's say if you want to pay on a monthly basis, that's totally fine. You can be subscribed to the monthly pro or the monthly max plan and still retain your AI profiles. So just an FYI, you do not have to purchase the founders plan, because not everyone will have that much of money to pay upfront. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was going there. Let me finish. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
No. Yeah. So absolutely, the only plan that your profiles are truly at risk is if you go for that basic plan, right? So if you're only going for that pre-built profile package, your AI profiles are at risk of deletion. If you want to store those profiles, we'll be introducing the ability to store a profile, so we can kind of hold it for you until you either decide to go up to a plan or whatever it may be. But that is something that we do have a hard cost on. So that's why we had to be kind of strict or more pertinent with those pieces, because it is quite expensive to build the profiles, retrain the profiles, store profiles. All of those costs add up. So that is why that is the way it is. So yeah, absolutely. You can go monthly. You don't have to be on the founders deal. You can go monthly. You can go annual for any of those packages. You don't have to be on the founders deal to keep those profiles. You just have to have one of the packages that includes AI profiles. And Stefan said, "Oh my God, the prices are announced. I didn't log in time to catch up." Yeah, so we did announce the pricing. This video will be up. You can revisit this video, and we'll also make a little post in the group showing off the webpage for the pricing as well. And just so everyone knows, you got your last chance. This is your final warning. Founders deal closes, and you won't ever get that price again. So if you are interested in the founders deal, do snag that before the end of the day, because these things are going away fast. Yeah, I think those are all the questions. I think we made it through. You guys are all super amazing. Again, just to kind of close things out, we appreciate all of you for being a part of this journey, right? So taking your ideas and bringing them to us, giving us your complaints, your happy days, all of your celebrations, everything is amazing. If you're in our Facebook community, that's awesome. If you're not, go check out the Aftershoot community. I did make a post last night just to remind people, support. We have in-app support. They're there for you to answer all of your questions and help you with anything you've got. So a lot of times we'll get some posts that I won't see for 4 hours, and you could have been solved and already working had you gone to support. So we just want to make sure that if you have a problem, an issue, whatever it is, all the right people can be found through support. And if you want to just post exciting, fun things or whatever you got on your mind in the community, we're all about it. But things that aren't time sensitive are better for that for the community. Fantastic. Harshit, any closing words?
No, I think that's essentially it. You put it right, Justin. Again, and we believe this sort of gives you a clarity and understanding on how we operate as a company. And yeah, hopefully these plans are able to meet you in your journey as a professional. And if you're just starting out, hopefully the basic bundle would be just enough. If you are a new pro, hopefully the pro plan will work for you. And if you're a seasoned professional or a studio, and we hope that the max plan will be what satisfies your needs. We do have a last question that says that, okay, if I go for yeah. So the question is, if I go for the Aftershoot Pro monthly package and unsubscribe at any time in my quiet months, so I lose my AI profile or does it stay there unusable? So we will have a passive subscription, as we call it, because we still have to, again, store your AI profile. There are costs associated with it. And you may want to just come back a month, train it, and then go back and cancel again. So there'll be two options. Either you cancel upfront and you pay us $0 and the profiles will be removed after a certain period. And the second option is you can pay us a small amount, which would be in a singular dollars, and we retain the profile for you. So you don't have to pay us the entire pro plan. You pay a minor fee, and we just still actively retain the profile for you, and it's not deleted at all, because we understand it takes a lot of work to create the AI profiles. So yeah, I hope that answers that question, and I believe that's the last question that people have had.
That's the one. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're so honored to have you as Aftershoot fans and people. And I placed this light specifically because I did want to just give a quick shout out to Geek Oto. Geek Oto was so gracious to be able to provide us with all of the lighting for this event. So we're looking at some of their continuous lights that they have available, and amazing softbox, and this lightsaber light bar over here that's providing our side light. So I did want to just say thanks to Geek Oto and the team for making me look pretty today.
Hiram, no lights for me. Come on, man. Why this partiality? Like Justin gets all the cool things, I don't get anything. I'll have a chat with Hiram from Geeko too.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for watching. We'll see y'all in the Facebook community.
See ya. Bye-bye.